The vacant house grant. We have not applied for it. We have no immediate plans to apply for it. Some of the details around it are making it a little bit difficult for us to kind of feel easy about going for it. First of all, they give you 13 months to complete the works, from what I've seen. So they'll give you, is it between 50 and 70,000 euro to renovate a vacant property in Ireland. And there's a top up if it's derelict. You need to prove it's derelict. There's a couple of different ways to do that. You can check the derelict properties register if your county has one and see if your property has already been listed on it. You can also have a building surveyor come out, apparently, and do a survey to state that it is derelict, and that will also do. Then the first kind of problem with that, as I say, is that you've got 13 months to complete works. If you're doing the work yourself, in theory, they're not going to disbar you from getting the grant. You're absolutely allowed to do that, and people have done that. But unless you're very confident with renovation works, or you've only got a small amount to do, getting it done within 13 months might just be a bit of a push, especially if any of it is sort of weather dependent, you know. So myself and Dave talking about it, not really too sure that the things we'd need to be able to get done, we'd be able to get done in that time frame. And the other problem is the cash flow problem, because they'll give you a grant, but only after the works have been completed, and only if they have been completed to their satisfaction and requirements. So from what I gather, you can finish the works and then find out after the fact that you're not going to get all of the money back that you were approved for. Now, I might be wrong on that, but that seems to be the general opinion on things at the minute. Having said that, the amount of people who have actually been awarded, successfully awarded the grant and drawn down the money after the stated time period is still very, very low. So the grant's been running for about 1.5 years now, I think, or just less than that. There's not that many people to talk to who have actually successfully completed the process. So I'm just not too sure about it. They'll give you the money after the fact, but you still need to pay for all those works to begin with. So, I mean, you need access to credit. Like many things, you need to be able to prove you don't need the money before they'll actually give it to you. So we do need the money if we're going to use the grant, you know, and we would kind of need the money up front, because just access and sort of 50 grand credit is not really an option for us. We didn't buy our house under the premise we'd be able to get a renovation grant for it. The grant didn't exist when we purchased our place. We just planned it on doing up slowly, bit by bit, dribs and drabs over the years. We knew it would be a slow process, but we were prepared for that. And to be honest, if that's the way we do it, that's still fine by us. But if we find out in the meantime from somebody in our county who has successfully navigated the process in a way similar to how we'd be planning to do it, then by all means we absolutely will go for it. But that's about the extent of what I know about it so far. I also know that each different county council has discretion over, you know, how they actually carry this out. So it's kind of been done differently by every county council. So it's really tricky to figure out, and you know, you could put a lot of time and effort and money into going for it and then get the rug pulled from under you, and actually that would set us much further back than just trying to do it slowly instead. My Irish Homestead says the grant scheme is a nightmare, Tara. I've looked at it. According to the Irish Independent, 4 grants have actually been made. Yeah, and I mentioned that in one of the videos I did. Now, that was a couple of months ago. I think there have been more since then, because I've heard anecdotal evidence from some of the groups online. You can actually go to, it's called Cree Conaha Vacant Properties Grant, or you could just Google Vacant Properties Grant Ireland. There had only been 4 paid out at that point, but there's a Facebook group if you want to keep an eye on how things is going. I think it's called Vacant Property Cree Conaha Grants or something like that. Again, just search that on Facebook and you should find those groups, and there are people in there who are actively applying and people who have successfully applied, and most of them who are in the groups are willing to share their experience because they know how much it's appreciated by people coming behind them. John says, I had to take a lot of time and discover skills I never knew I had to fix up my sister's place. Exactly, that's it, you know. And if you're approaching a job that you're maybe not 100% confident in, you might just want to take your time, do the extra research, make sure you've got the correct information and you've saved up maybe for the slightly better tools that's going to make a better job of it. And all of those things take time, and you'd sort of nearly need to be ready to go before you apply for it. But then if you do any work at all to the house, that was another issue we had, that if you do any work to the house, it may no longer then be able to be classed as derelict. So you mightn't get your derelict top up, and if you can't prove that it has been vacant for, I believe it's at least 2 years, you don't qualify. I mean, otherwise it seems pretty easy to get awarded the grant. They don't seem too stringent on who can apply for it. I don't know if you need to be an Irish citizen or just resident in Ireland or just own a property in Ireland. I'm not too clear on those details, but Kay says if you're able to get the plumbing done, woohoo, indoor plumbing. Exactly. Do you know, those are the kinds of things that we're thinking of. It'd be great to be able to speed them up a bit, either aimed at property developers who have deep bank accounts, or B, just to make it look like they're doing something without actually following through. Yeah, first of all, I was kind of optimistic because I thought, wow, this actually looks like it's sort of open to everyone. But obviously I was cautious because obviously I've dealt with county councils before. And just the more information I got about it and the more feedback we were hearing from people, it was like, Urgh. Yeah, Nicole says doing them badly is not really helpful because you just have to do them again in a few years. Exactly, like we want to do the job right. It's not just a matter of, just, half-ass it and hope for the best. We want to restore the property as best as we can. Ben says, there are lots of clawbacks to stop developers. Sell the house too soon, you'll have to pay it all back. Yeah, that is correct actually, Ben. Thank you for reminding me of that. You see the disclaimers that say, well, if you sell it within the first 10 years, I think, or if you can rent it out. Yeah, no, it's if you sell it in the first 10 years. Or maybe you can't rent it. I'm getting confused now. You see, I'm not an authority on it, and I was trying to avoid talking about it until I actually had gone through the process myself and could speak with some level of authority. But the months are going by and I'm still not feeling massively inclined to apply for it. So I figured I might as well just talk about it now, get it out of the way. So there is incentive for developers to not want to avail of it, to just, line their own pockets, as we'd be afraid of them doing. And I suppose with good reason, I can understand people being sceptical. And I mean, sure, I'm sceptical too. I haven't applied for it. If you'd like to watch back the full live chat this video was clipped from, the links in the description below. Don't forget to check out my next live chat if there's any questions you'd like to ask someone attempting a slow renovation of a derelict Irish cottage on a shoestring budget. And if you'd like to see our progress since we moved on site less than a year and a half ago, click into this playlist. Or if you'd like to see me cover property or housing in Ireland more generally, click into this one. And if you've made it this far, thanks for sticking around. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe because it really helps the algorithm and keeps the channel growing. Till next time, slán agus beannacht, goodbye and good luck to you.